It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist, personal change worker, here tonight with your Facebook Live. What I specialise in is helping people who are alcoholics, cocaine addicts, sex addicts, nicotine addicts, rapidly recover without the need of 12-step programs or costly rehab. We're going to allow people some time to join us tonight, but tonight's video, controversial title, why your AA tokens are worthless. I realise I'm going to get some heat for this today, so I say bring the heat. But I'm going to tell you why this all makes sense a little bit later on today. If you're just joining us, say hi in the comments below, give us a wave, give us a fun. Someone's just joined us here, whoever you are, say hi. So I understand in NA and in AA, tokens are administered. This is not the token, this is a different token. Tokens are administered, and it seems like it's very positive, doesn't it? Here's a token for your first month, your first 6 months, your first year, your first 5 years, your first 10 years of sobriety. Sounds really positive. And then people will go up on stage and they'll be presented with a token. It's a sense of accomplishment. Sounds positive. I understand where you're coming from. I understand why it feels good. Bernadette, how are you? If you just joined us, give us fun. Give us a wave. Sounds really positive. Hey Deb, how are you? But actually, it's not, because it keeps you caught. It keeps you stuck in, okay, well, I've gone another 10 days. I've gone another month. I've gone another year, 10 years. You get another token. You get the clap or the golf clap from the rest of the people in the audience. Makes you feel important, doesn't it? But unfortunately, all that does is condition your unconscious mind to say that you're still stuck. You're still an addict because you're still counting the days, the weeks, the months, the years, the decades since you last used. Rather than, that's something I used to do, I don't do it anymore. You leave it behind and you get on with your life. So I want to give you a different type of token, because I'm in the belief of, don't just tear things down, give a solution. If we're going to take something away, we've got to put something in its place. Okay? So instead of using those tokens that sound really, really important, sound really, really positive, but actually they're a wolf in sheep's clothing that keep you trapped in the addicted mindset. And it is a mindset, folks, even if you feel it physiologically in your body. What directs your body is your spinal cord, is your neurology, is your brain. So what I use is ask my clients, I get them to get a different type of token. I've got a few to show you here today. No, I don't have stakes in the company. I don't make them. I just think they're really cool. I often give them to clients. So the first one, this is a coin. I'm a big superhero fan. There's a Batman villain called Two-Faced, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and can't remember his name, something Eckhart in one of the later Batman movies. And he'd have a coin, and he'd flip that coin, and one side of the coin, couldn't even catch it. One side of the coin is going to commit a crime, do something terrible, and the other one isn't. I think on one side of the coin, the face is defaced or something, and it just lets him know if he's going to do something good or something bad, if he's going to kill or hurt this person, commit that robbery or not. This coin's not quite like that, but you'll get the gist. So let me show you. This coin is a 0 fuck coin. You see this is 0 there. Now if I flip that over, it's 1. It's 1 fuck. So I often say to my clients, especially clients suffering from some kind of addiction, whether that be cocaine, nicotine, alcohol, speed, sex or gambling, and they're triggered. There's been a trigger. Somebody's setting them down a course they're about to use. I always ask them, just before you do that, take your fuck coin. So, sorry, the light reflection there, which is either a 1 or a 0. And what you do is, just before you're about to engage in that activity that's destructive, the drinking, the drugging, or the oversexting, you get your coin and you flip it in the air. And it's either going to land heads or tails. So either going to land 0 or 1, I should say. It landed 0. So if it lands on a 0, it means you don't give a fuck about it. You don't need to do it. It's done. You've got no fucks to give. Which basically means you don't do that activity. You don't do it. It's not good. That thing that was going to cause you to drink, to drug, to gamble, 0. It means it's not important in your life. Now, if it hit at 1, then I tell my client to sit down, and whatever that emotion is that's behind them doing their addiction, whether that be stress, some trauma, anxiety, fear, sadness, give one fuck about it. Maybe that one fuck will be 5 minutes. You'll sit down, you'll feel that emotion, and you'll go about your day. Then when you come to another crossroads and you feel you're about to use, before you do that, pull out your coin and you flip it. It's either going to be 1, I know it's a bit reflective, sorry it's in a case, or 0. You're about to use, but before you use, you separate yourself from it, because you realise the only thing that's making you use is there's an emotional undercurrent to it. Once that emotional undercurrent is dealt with, it's very easy to deal with the actual habit of doing your drug of choice. But we've got to clear it, flatline what's holding it up underneath. So you're about to use, ask yourself, all right, I'm about to use, what am I feeling right now? What am I feeling? I'm feeling really stressed, feeling really sad, feeling really anxious, feeling really angry. Okay, second step. Third step, you pull out your coin. You can make your own one. Right? You flip it up in the air. I'm not really good at catching this tonight, am I? Again, it keeps going to 0 for me. So that says 0. There's 0 fucks to give about that. It too will pass. Don't need to do any work on it. If it hit a 1, whatever that feeling was, that's underneath, and if you don't even have a label to that feeling, right, you're not sure if it's anger or sadness or anxiety, it's just a sensation I don't like, you take 5 minutes, you just sit down with that feeling before you use, and you're just sitting it. You don't victimize yourself with it. You don't stay stuck in it. You set your clock, your timer for 5 minutes. You just sit in that semantic sensation in your body, feel it, and you go about your day. So just think of it like a road. You can use the right road, okay? Or you can use the wrong road, left road. Wrong road you keep using, all right? But this other road gives you that time to process. You don't have to spend $50, $100, $150,000 on rehab. You don't need to go to timely 12-step programs where after a certain amount of time you get a token that basically means nothing. It means by actually going there and accepting the token, again, like a wolf in sheep's clothing, a year, 10 years, 50, 30 years from now, you're still trapped in the identity. So even though you may not have used in 10, 20, 30 years, in your brain, you're still an addict, which means that you're still trapped. You're still in that prison. What this little coin does, gives you the option. You're just about to use, step 1, you identify, I'm going to use my drug of choice right now. Sex, gambling, sugar, nicotine, cocaine. You've identified it, all right? You're going to use. Feel the feeling. Don't have to label it. It could just be a sensation. It's a tight sensation here, or it's a prickly sensation here. You might have a label for it. Might be anger, might be sadness, might be anxiety. Doesn't matter. That's the second step, okay? Third step is you decide, is it worth giving a fuck for? Is it worth giving a moment for? Is it worth going to do this drug, feeling worried about it, feeling scared about it, renting out space in your mind and your body to do it? How you do that is you flip the coin. This is step number 3. Oh, I finally got 1. So if a 1 comes up, that means, yeah, it's worth giving 1 fuck. It's worth giving 1 fuck for. So you take yourself to somewhere for 5 minutes. If you're at work, you can go to the bathroom. All right? And you just take that 5 minutes to feel the feeling, or where you have a label for it, if it's an emotion, or just this semantic, that means the physical sensation. You just feel it. Don't try and change it. Don't try and fix it. Just focus on it. Feel it totally for 5 minutes. Set your timer. As soon as that's done, shake it off. Go about your day. You've given the appropriate fucks. And you can actually run your life like this to start to condition your neurology, that when something comes up, rather than going down the wrong road, you start to go down the right road. Start to condition it. Experts will disagree and agree that it may take 21 days, it may take 28 days, it may take 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months to get that neurological pathway in your brain, basically that pattern, that habit established. So it might take you 3 times to flip in the coin, it might take you 3 weeks, it might take you 3 months, but it starts to give you some distance away from your addiction, to give you a bit more freedom, using a token that will help you shatter, break that addiction prison, whatever that is for you, whatever your drug of choice or pattern or habit of choice is that's destructive. Rather than celebrating that you're still an addict, but you just haven't used, and you might use, you might not, but you're still in that hamster wheel of potentially being a habit. We're shattering that down. And you're deciding, is it appropriate for me to give a fuck about this? Because honestly, most things that happen in our life are not worth giving a fuck about. They really are worthless, but we rent out too much time. And there are things that we do need to give a fuck about. It's really important. Sometimes we don't know. So it's good to add a little element of chance, a little bit of gamification, if you will, about it, to turn it into a fun process, if you will. So that's why these 0 or 1 fuck coins are really, really important and far more valuable than your tokens of sobriety. If you've got any questions, as always, please put them in the comments below. I will endeavour to answer them. And that being said, enjoy the rest of your evening. Always believe.